Monique ruins KHIA's and TS Madison's showbiz careers too. Monique ruins KHIA's and TS Madison's showbiz careers too. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. Well, Monique, the comedian from Baltimore, Maryland, who won an Oscar several years ago for her role as a deranged mother in the film Precious, which was produced and directed by Lee Daniels, who is now one of Monique's arch enemies. Monique, now she goes around, bashing Oprah, bashing Lee Daniels, bashing Tyler Perry, bashing Netflix. She's become very angry and bitter. She says she's being blacklisted. And she's out to ruin as many people as she can and drag as many people down in the abyss with her as possible. That's the Monique that she has become, since she won her Oscar several years ago from her role, as a deranged black mother in the film Precious, which was directed and produced by Lee Daniels. The same Lee Daniels who is still making money and has, maintained his good name and his good reputation, while Monique, has ruined hers. Well, there is a online internet show comprised of two black women. The show is called The Queen's Court. It is posted on YouTube. It is broadcast on YouTube by a woman named KHIA, who is a rapper, and a man named TS Madison, who dressed like a woman. And I'm not making fun of TS Madison, but he is a man who dressed like a woman. So TS Madison and KHIA teamed up to create their own online YouTube show called The Queen's Court, and it became a hit, a smash. They became household names in a very short period of time, and they're even going on tour within the next week or so, all over America. And they did this using a iPad and an iPhone. So T.S. Madison and KHIA teamed up to create a YouTube show, which became a hit using only an iPad device and an iPhone device. Hats off to KHIA and T.S. Madison. Genius. Well, KHIA and T.S. Madison, they recently invited Monique onto their show. And the rest is showbiz ruined career history. There were apparently some technical difficulties, on the night that Monique was supposed to appear on the Queen's Court YouTube show hosted by KHIA and T.S. Madison. This occurred about 2 weeks ago. And for some reason, there were some technical difficulties. T.S. Madison hired this production crew to come in and to set up a more professional arrangement in order for T.S. Madison and KHIA to interview Monique on their online show. The same online show that had become successful with just them using an iPad device and an iPhone device. When Monique was invited to come on the show, suddenly T.S. Madison wanted to, she wanted to hire a production team to come in and create a more professional production atmosphere, just to appease, I guess, or to impress Monique. The same Monique who can't get work. The same Monique who goes around bashing everybody. All the A-list celebrities that she bashes, and has basically ruined her career and been blacklisted. This is the same Monique that TS Madison wanted to impress with a more professional production set on the night, the evening that they were going to interview Monique 2 weeks ago on the Queen's Court show. Well, the production staff, the crew to set up production for that set hired by TS Madison, apparently, according to KHIA, they were not professional enough. They were not trained well. They didn't know what they were doing, and they messed up the show, the set, so that there was not an opportunity to interview Monique. And KHIA said that while all the mayhem was occurring with their production crew, not knowing what they were doing, with all that chaos and drama on the night that the Queen's Court was due to interview Monique, KHIA said that Monique was filming that. She was filming that on Periscope. So basically, she was making a mockery out of the same show, the Queen's Court, that was going to give her possibly some positive, publicity. She was going to finally get some positive publicity from the Queen's Court, who was going to allow Monique to give her side of the story as to why she was being blacklisted by Lee Daniels and many other A-list black people in the entertainment industry. Then Monique turns around and tries to make a mockery and, pull down the Queen's Court by filming the mayhem that was going on her Periscope, channel. That was dirty. That's called crabs in a bucket. My grandmother said, my grandmother, who died at the age of 100, my grandmother, Bernice, who is now deceased, who died at the age of 100, she always told me that, as you're going up the food chain, you're going to always run into some haters who want to pull you down. She called them crabs in a bucket. She said that people who are going down, they want to pull you down with them. So apparently, Monique was probably jealous of the publicity, the positive publicity, and the fame that TS Madison and KHIA had created for themselves through their own hard work. Monique was jealous. She saw this as an opportunity to pull them down. How do I know? Because if Monique was not trying to pull down KHIA and TS Madison, when all this mayhem was going on, she would have turned off her phone or her camera, and she wouldn't have filmed that to put on her Periscope page. And she was laughing. She was actually laughing at KHIA and TS Madison while this was going on. So she wasn't for TS Madison and KHIA. She wasn't, a friend of the Queen's Court show. She's going down in flames, and she wanted KHIA and TS Madison to go down in flames too. At one time, I felt some compassion for Monique. I did. Before this occurred, I had some compassion for Monique. I saw Monique as another black woman in Hollywood who was being, mistreated because of ethnicity, because of her race. But now I see it's more than that. That's Monique. That's Monique bringing her own self down. And she's jealous. And my heart goes out to KHIA and TS Madison because they worked really hard. They really worked hard to get where they, ended up at, with their show being so popular to the point where they were getting contracts and sponsors and even signed a contract to go on the road to tour. Only to have someone like Monique, bitter, angry Monique, to come on their show and try to embarrass them. And try to divide them and, break them up and embarrass their show. Because she don't have anything going for herself. Not now. Like she had 10 years ago when she won that Oscar. No, Monique, you're not the same. You're not on the same level that you were 10 years ago. You're not. And you probably never will get there again with that bitter attitude and that jealous attitude towards, why are you hating on Oprah? Oprah worked hard to get what she is. Why are you hating on Lee Daniels? He worked hard to get what he is. Why are you hating Monique on Tyler Perry? He worked hard to get what he is. Why are you hating on KHIA and TS Madison trying to embarrass their Queen's Court show? They worked hard to get where they are. I'm not saying, Monique, that you didn't work hard, because I believe that you did work hard. But because you won an Oscar, that doesn't mean that you stop working hard. When you win that Oscar, that means you got to dig your heels in and work even harder. To continue proving yourself, to continue to prove yourself as a black woman in the entertainment industry. Not try to pull down your sisters or your brothers, Monique. So I hope that KHIA and TS Madison bounce back from this mess. I hope they can bounce back and, pull it together again and not let this divide them and break them up or ruin their Queen's Court show. Monique ruins KHIA's and TS Madison's showbiz career too. I hope that that is only short-lived and that KHIA and TS Madison can bounce back and stay together. And don't invite Monique on your show ever again. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.